Hello everybody and welcome back to the Justice Journals. It's me, it's Ali, the founder of Justice Journals and of course Justice Writer Pro, which has been established and publicly available since 2023, did you know? And it is indeed Justice Writer Pro that has helped me write all of those wonderful free letters for you, particularly those of you who are being hounded to hand over your bank statements and those of you that are being quizzed and investigated over things like what did you spend £3.24 on PayPal. Know that by current data protection and ICO guidance that actually the Department of Work and Pensions can only ask you for your bank statements in very specific circumstances. And one of those circumstances is not to evaluate whether or not you are on the right benefit or not. Now, because I want to help as many people as possible with my channel, with my advocacy work, with my experience of the Department of Work and Pensions, I want to give you guys an updated free letter, yes, which combines the new guidance from the Information Commissioner's Office and clearly pushes back against DWP's fear bill in its current state. So what does that mean? It means if the Information Commissioner's Office says you cannot demand transactional data, then transactional data they cannot enforce upon you or the request of it. So if that's you, I'm going to leave a link down below underneath this video where it says get this free letter here, because some of you had a problem last time. Click on that and it's going to be emailed directly to you. So hopefully that will make things a bit easier. Now I want to get on to two questions that you have popped in the comments. Thank you so much for the comments, by the way, guys. It really helps me understand what I can do to help you more. And don't forget, over in the Insiders membership, which is my membership, you can get access to Justice Writer Pro. So it can help write letters, formulate documents for you, give you guidance. And this is not generic AI. This is not ChatGPT. This is special software that has been developed with disability advocacy and a whole load of my experience of working at DWP. Okay, so quickly to answer this lovely comment from Traveller's Dance Bar. I love the names, guys. He says, or she says, or they say, so I have been asked to send 4 months of bank statements. Can I redact copies showing only money in opening and closing balance? Yes, you can. Unless you're under a fraud risk review. And if you are, they will have told you and they have to tell you the date that it started and the date that it is likely to end. Not everybody who is on universal credit can be under a fraud risk review. I just want to point that out. So yes, you can. Traveller's Dance Bar, go ahead and get my free letter, which you can find down below this video, and have a read of that. And then obviously, if you wish to send it in, you can. There is this caveat that DWP can always threaten to suspend your benefit. And if they do that, there is a very nice letter inside the Insiders membership to help you deal with that. So bear that in mind. So there we go, Traveller's Dance Bar. That answers your question. And then we've got a really lovely, interesting question from Jack AAC12. It's like, it's very similar to, what was it called? That police crime thriller. AC12, that is it. AC12, Call of Duty, wasn't it? AC12, it just came to my brain there. Like, I don't know if anyone watched that. I love that. I thought it was so good. Who's H? Anyway, getting swiftly back. How does this fear bill affect those who claim non-means benefits? Brilliant question. My husband was involved in a car accident where he sustained a severe brain injury and physical injuries. Sorry to hear that. Had a claim 30 plus years ago, of which he had to pay back 7 or 8 years of benefits. He was put into the court of protection and his payout was put into a disability trust by the court and solicitors, of which I am one of the trustees. How much will this fear bill affect him, us, and the many other people who are in a similar place? Okay, right. First of all, paying back 7 or 8 years of benefits. If he was deemed disabled or having a disability, so long-term health conditions following the car crash, then I would be questioning whether or not he should be paying back 7 or 8 years, okay? Because if he is deemed as having a disability and he was in receipt of PIP, then normally there is a protection around that you don't have to pay back money whilst you've been going through an insurance process for a car crash, etc., etc. So that's the first thing. Right, secondly, the disability trust, very important. So let's go into that. And as always, I have to say this is not legal advice. It's just because I know a lot of this stuff from working there, treating claims and making decisions on claims. And of course, I've actually been in this very similar situation myself. So I know it very well. And because it's quite wordy, I've put it up on the screen. So basically, when someone is or is made a court of protection, that is an already approved arrangement and compensation in your case, which is held in a properly constituted disability trust. Now, it does need to be a proper trust. Better if it's a disability constituted trust, not just, some money in a bank account. That money is therefore, if it's held in a proper trust by Universal Credit, it's not treated as personal capital, okay, for means tested benefits, provided, as I said, the trust is administered correctly. The minute you take the money out of that trust, then it will be counted as capital. But whilst it's in a trust, it's not counted as capital. So how does this work now with the new FEAR Act? Well, bear in mind that the new FEAR Act is very, very new. As the Information Commissioner's Office has already stated and published on their website, and they are the deciding body with data protection and GDPR, not DWP. And I know they hate that, but that is the truth. There are still lots of things that need to be sorted out in the FEAR bill. But even if those were sorted out, I mean, we're a long way from having them sorted out, clearly. But the FEAR bill as it is now, and I would say, well, we can't foresee for the future, but definitely how it is now, it does not override existing trust law, court of protection orders, or long established rules around disregarded capital. And it also does not create a new power to reclassify compensation held in trust as a claimable capital. And I will say this with the biggest respect to people that do work at the Department of Work and Pensions. There are a lot of people working behind those desks that really do not understand government policy. And I know that because I've had to train them when they've made errors on claims, right? So even though you might be told something, if you really feel that it is incorrect, I come to the Justice Journals, or simply look up the policy online if it exists. And if it sounds really woolly, because some of the things you have been saying to me in the comments sound like incredibly woolly, turn round to that work coach and say, can you please provide me or point to the policy, or can you please provide or point to the point in the policy that states that? If they can't find it and they can't reference it, it doesn't exist. Because, through training at DWP, you are taught to do this. And unfortunately, lots of work coaches don't know the policies, or they misapply, normally naively, the wrong policy, or they haven't looked up a policy that may have changed or been updated because of different legislations in law. So do bear that in mind. And of course, even after everything, DWP, like anyone else that is accessing your data or making decisions on your data, need to prove that there was a lawful basis to make the decision that they've made, that it is necessary and that it is proportionate to the context at that time. And time relevance is really important with universal credit because it is a digital claim and is assessed on a month-by-month basis. And that any data access was relevant to entitlement at the time, which is why asking for 10 years or 15 years of your bank statements is pretty irrelevant unless you are under fraud investigation, but they have to make you aware of that. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much. And go and grab your free letter from Justice Writer Pro at the Justice Journals. Have a great day.